Okay. Check. Oh, that's my dog. He's howling.
I think
He's howling in a new day.
I think Diego did the sound check for us.
There you go.
All right.
You can have it both ways. You can have it a dog way and a human way.
So what kind of weed? What strain of weed you smoking in the quarantine?
I am smoking something called a Daily Special. I don't know what that is, but it's the cheapest that you can get from the legal joints in Canada.
How cheap are we talking here?
Not cheap at all, because it's the legal joints in Canada.
It's not cheap in Michigan either. It's extremely expensive in Michigan.
But I do believe paying for the convenience of, like, weed that I actually know is probably cleaner than an illegal dealer's.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yeah. Not to shit on illegal dealers who, got me through many tough times in my life. But, those guys, I don't want to touch them. I don't want to be near them.
Certainly during a pandemic, I could see them being, potential people that might have it. They might have the bug,
Absolutely, yeah. Well, because they're going around to a lot of people.
Exactly.
They're still making their rounds, and it's not like they're doing curbside pickup. Maybe some of the smarter ones are, like they're just leaving it in boxes.
Well, that's why I pay the premium to go to the store, because they are, they have cones set up, they have curbside set up. I drive around. It's drive-through weed. It's amazing, and yes, it's $300 for half an ounce. So shoot me in the face.
So I'll dox myself here by saying I live in Toronto. And so all the major weed stores in Toronto are on the main strip of Yonge Street, which is very funny. There's like just 4 weed stores in immediate proximity to each other.
It's at the corner of Yonge and Hip.
Kinda. Not really. It's at the corner of Yonge and just weird old gay dudes near the area where I'm at. Love their weed, though. You gotta love your weed when you're gay.
Do you have a basement in your apartment?
There is a basement in my apartment. It is for the laundry room. It's pretty nice, actually.
Not for the growing of the weed. That's where I want to go to next, is growing my own weed. How is it done?
Why do you want to start growing your own weed?
Well, I don't know. It depends. It seems like it's hard, so maybe I don't want to.
I've heard weed is among the easier plants to start getting into, unless you become one of those succulents people. You know how people are really into succulents?
Yeah, can I tell you about what happened to the last succulent I owned?
What happened to the last succulent you owned?
Well, I had some form of rage or anxiety combined that ended in me like throwing it into the garbage bin, like hard, just like destroying it viscerally. I was like threw it in. I don't really remember why. I kind of blacked out with rage. Occasionally, and then I had to deal with these intense feelings of guilt of murdering a plant for the first time ever, which was very strange.
Had you ever felt, because I killed an insect in my apartment the other day and I felt nothing. Why did you? But was it the way that you murdered the plant?
Succulents seem more alive because they're really engorged.
Yeah, I guess also insects are our most ancient enemy, insects and lizards. So it's killing them is more of ooh, and I did good instinct.
Yeah.
In the human mind.
Yeah.
Whereas plants, they're just here to help. They're just, hey guy, I'm just making oxygen for you. Why'd you have to throw me down like that in the trash? I'm just a succulent. So maybe you should try succulents again. Or are you triggered? Do you have trauma from your rage episode with your succulent?
I have trauma from the rage episode. The episode.
So no more plants ever?
Yes.
Okay, just marijuana plants.
Just dead plants.
Do you know the laws about growing dead marijuana plants in Michigan?
Yeah, it's totally legal.
Right.
That was legalized before curbside pickup.
I am disappointed that you have not made Juggalo friends yet in Michigan.
Okay, well,
do you have any Juggalo connects?
How am I supposed to go make Juggalo friends?
I don't know. Go to, I guess not now. Now is not the optimum time to make Juggalo friends. But they're everywhere, just hanging. They're the guys hanging out in the park. In fucking Toronto,
really?
What they've done is they've had the bylaw officers just muscle all the homeless people out, and just threaten to fine them. And I don't know where these homeless people are going. Well, I know where they're going. They're going to underpasses and weirder places of gathering, and they're still gonna all get corona. They just won't be in the city center, which I guess is the goal.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically turning into a horrible class divide, just like all plagues do,
Mm-hmm. There's some that's what was nice about the Black Plague in an aspect, is that because people were so unhip to medicine back then, like rich people and poor people died at similar volumes.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was also a bacterium. Is important to keep in mind, which is part of, like, we don't get the plague anymore because we just use penicillin. But it was also, that's why it was so severe in a way. By nature.
Because it was a bacterium?
Yeah. Bacterial.
As opposed to a virus?
Well, I know, like other things, like bacterial meningitis is way more intense and worse than viral meningitis. And so,
is it just because because of bacteria is bigger?
It's because it's bigger. It does more damage when it's thrashing around your body and your immune systems.
It's a big piece of goo. I mean, I like bacteria. I find it easier to anthropomorphize a bacteria. I find it easier to relate to a bacteria than a virus, because like a bacteria has organelles and shit.
Yeah, I would hands down prefer to die from a bacteria than a virus any day. Yeah,
there's more. It's like, man, at least I'm dying from something that's alive. At least it's just not like I would rather be eaten by a bear than killed in a hurricane. Because at least circle of life. It's less senseless for some reason.
Did you see about those tornadoes that hit?
No, what happened?
These just like, there's a bunch of tornadoes that tore through the South about a week ago. And there's more scheduled for tonight and tomorrow.
It just adds up. It's like when you got a vet bill and rent's due at the same time,
Don't pay the vet bill. Can you get away with not paying the vet bill?
Oh, no, I'm clear for that. I'm just doing a hypothetical situation.
Oh, no, not me. I would never be behind on my bills.
Oh, no. Dude, there are a lot of bills to pay. But I have not been laid off yet, so I feel this grudging obligation to pay them. And I don't know why.
Have you done that thing to get the money from the website on Canada.com?
No, not yet. I'm not laid off yet. I don't need the benefit yet.
Okay, come on though.
I'm not gonna scam the government. I'm not gonna double dip.
Yeah,
what do you take me for?
I've already signed up a couple of times in your name, because when I was visiting you, I got all your info.
I know, you got my SSN and my mother's maiden name.
Do Canadians have social security numbers?
No, we just have a photo of ourselves giving the thumbs up and going, "We're good."
I trust you, buddy.
I trust you.
I trust you.
I wish we were like that. I wish we were actually more like the stereotype. The only thing that I would say about Canadians, specifically people in Ontario, this doesn't apply to Quebecers, but Ontarians just do not cross against the fucking light.
What does that mean?
They have.
What does that
they
mean?
don't.
Is that a
they
metaphor?
never.
Is that a metaphor?
They never jaywalk.
Oh,
they don't.
Not a metaphor.
It's like a thing. Like no one in New York obeys the lights.
I find that
everyone knows that.
I find that to be one of the worst characteristics of New York people. Is the not total conformity and rigid conformity that I expect out of a walking and pedestrian society. I expect you stay in your lane.
Well, there is a conformity to New York walking etiquette, because have you ever just like stopped briefly in the middle of like a walking queue in like a sidewalk and someone gets mad at you because they bump into you unexpectedly?
No, I have not. But
that has happened to me many times in New York.
When I go on walks in New York City, though, I am trying to conform as rigidly as possible at all times. Walking is, in fact, to me, an exercise of conformity.
That's what the Ministry of Silly Walks was all about. It was about liberation.
Monty Python's Ministry of Silly Walks would be banned if I was in control. Okay, they would be hunted down and placed into camps for making a Ministry of Silly Walks. It's not allowed.
Yes, truly, it is the ultimate human complacency that forces us to trudge forward in such a pedestrian way. Mm-hmm. You see what I said there?
I did. Well, I had already
literally pedestrian.
I already said that word. I did know that word before you. Just if we're keeping score. Just if we're keeping score.
Oh man, it's fucking bad in New York, man. The fucking plague is really hitting those guys.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. I'm concerned about it. You know.
Cuomo's really fucking up there. At first, people were like 2 weeks of Cuomo being all like, he's our boy. And now people are all like, oh, no mo Cuomo.
No mo Cuomo?
No mo Cuomo after this. Now, probably there'll be Mo Cuomo.
Mo Cuomo.
Yeah, there'll be Cuomo. At the DNC. Who do you think will be, when Joe Biden mysteriously disappears, who do you think will be the shill that replaces him?
Yeah, it's gonna be Cuomo. I mean, you know, they're telegraphing that if something were, but I think it's only if something were to happen to Biden. Like, but he could just have a stroke. That could happen.
Or Hunter could die.
That would be.
They'll kill Hunter. The DNC will kill Hunter,
like they did to yet another Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet another Kennedy.
Hunter, the last piece of good in Biden.
What do they keep doing? Are they just like each Kennedy person that dies is just like they find out because they open the closet, they go through the box they find at the back of the closet.
What's the new Kennedy? Joe Kennedy?
No. One of like a young Kennedy was like mysteriously washed out to sea.
Wait, again?
Yeah, just like
recently?
Just like a month ago.
What? That family, they got wavering fortunes, I tell you that.
Wavering fortunes. That's like
you save all your crew.
That's a country song.
At sea,
right there.
Wavering fortunes. Oh, I've been up, I've been down. Like the amplitude of sound.
Okay,
science. Wavering fortunes.
Okay, science, cowboy.
It's science. It's science, cowboy. Did you know that Pluto is no longer a planet? Science, cowboy. This character's pretty thin.
No, although that's the entire Fallout video game series is Science Cowboy.
Science Cowboy.
Hey, partner.
Yeah, I guess that's what new things are, just combinations of two different things, like two archetypes that already exist. So scientist ninja is another thing, which I'm sure exists fucking somewhere, or like warrior journalist. Oh god, I made myself sick, but that's what Transmetropolitan is.
Yeah, no, they have it. Yeah, I mean, Hunter S. Thompson tried that.
He tried to be warrior journalist?
Yeah, I mean, he had all those guns and was always shooting off guns and, like, being physically aggressive.
Hunter S. Thompson, good or stupid?
Good.
Yeah, I like him too. I haven't reevaluated him yet in lieu of it. I like the way he writes. Yeah. I like his imagery.
He was good. I mean, probably had some negative aspects that will be reevaluated. I'm pretty sure he didn't treat his family very well, but...
No, he didn't.
I mean...
He was friends with Johnny Depp, who got beat up by Amber Heard, which is just lame.
Well... Johnny Depp is...
Such fucking cuck, got beat up by Amber Heard.
You know about his family situation?
Johnny Depp's family situation?
Yeah, do you know about it?
No, what is his family situation?
They are also taking advantage of him. And so, yeah.
Johnny Depp's family?
Yeah, his family situation is fucked up as well.
Like his deadbeat parents and siblings and cousins are taking money from him because he was the one to get out, and he feels
exactly
just this immense amount of guilt.
Yep, pretty much exactly. And he's like paying for them to live on a compound in Kentucky.
So what you're saying is that Johnny Depp is the greatest martyr of our time?
No, that would be Britney Spears.
Well, everyone knows that Britney is the public consciousness.
She's the greatest martyr of our corporate, of the public face of the corporate takeover.
She is literally an example of the patriarchal figure in her life dominating her and exploiting her body for profit. And it is funny that she has since started flirting with weird communist takes. Didn't she call for like a general strike or something recently?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? That could be a psyop. I do expect her to get married to Jim from The Office shortly.
Because we are in a spiraling descent of mediocrity.
Yeah, they're meant for each other. She's Pam. She is his Pam.
She is too good. Don't say Britney cannot be with John Krasinski. There is only one man that has ever been good enough for Britney Spears, and that is...
Justin Timberlake? Is it Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, they need to get back together, JT. No, JT is a false prophet.
No, maybe, most of our problems can be tied back to the day they broke up. Most of the world's problems.
That's when culture all went wrong. Okay, so, 9/11 isn't when shit started going bad. It's really when JT and BS...
Yeah. That's
split up.
That was our Donnie Darko moment when we started down the wrong timeline, was when they split up. They were meant to be together.
So if you had the ability to go back in time Darko styles,
I would I'd keep 9/11.
Yeah, absolutely, because 9/11 is how they got together.
And then make
it was a time of uncertainty.
He didn't mean to cheat on you. All right? They're young. He's young, all right? He's young, man. Come on, Brittany.
Actually, I feel like, that is the fucking future we're in, back to the 90s.
Did she cheat on him? What happened? Do you remember what happened?
Did she cheat on him? I think it was just, really, it was actually a marriage of publicity convenience. I think that was the thing. They basically weren't actually in love, and it was just a way for them to generate press at the time. And Britney Spears' way of staking out independence for herself was doing those quickie marriages in Las Vegas and to Kevin Federline. Because, the ability to fuck up when your life is so heavily controlled is some degree of control. And also she, from all accounts, is like she really wanted babies as well. And I don't think JT wanted to have babies with Britney.
Yeah, well.
But I'm spinning yarns here. I don't know. But this is what I imagine for them. But I imagine they're like really good friends. And, they confide in each other. They have each other's backs.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, that's probably not happening at all. But let me live my fantasy where all the celebrities are in a secret network of good, magical Illuminati unity.
Yeah, and it's all on Facebook.
You know what do you think there are any, is there such a thing as, okay, so you know how there's paranoia and then there's pronoia?
No, I don't know about pronoia.
Pronoia is really cool. So paranoia is like you're afraid that everyone's conspiring against you, whereas pronoia is you are suspicious that people are conspiring for you. And it seems kind of nice, but it can actually contribute to fraud mentality, because it's like, what if I'm just like this really stupid person and people have been like, we're promoting you, champ, It's
what Seinfeld has.
Seinfeld has pronoia.
Yep.
He thinks that everyone is in his corner all the time.
It always works out.
Oh, I'm even Steven. It always works out. Yeah. Go Israel.
Yeah.
I love Israel.
No, it always works out for Seinfeld.
He's even Steven, though. It's not that it works out for him. It's that things even out for him. It's that he never experiences true loss because something always compensates for it. Which is, part of the wonderful nihilism of his character. He experiences neither highs nor lows because he is at the end of history 90s. That's where we want to go back to.
That's
Is
the
the
normal.
end of history. Yeah, that is normal.
I can't wait until millennial people who are in their 50s talk about the 90s as if they were the 50s.
It's oh god no, but that's gonna be me. It's whatever the rockabilly equivalent to grunge music or '90s hip hop will be. It's gonna be.
I was excited to have frozen pizza on Christmas in the 90s. That was the 90s to me, folks, y'all. Hey, y'all. I was excited, folks.
The '90s to me. Oh, okay, so here's my pitch for the Back to the Future movie. It's Back to the 90s. It's a Back to the Future reboot. But you have to go back to the 90s to just live there and just chill out. And you have to keep cycling back and going back to 1990 every 10 years.
Dude, I say we remake the... We don't... No, you can't remake the Back to the Future movies. Ever. I will...
They're gonna. It's due. It's on the chopping block.
The only thing that The only thing that should happen with those is that they just do more of them with the deepfake technology, and they just like iterate another Marty, and just same exact timeline, same everything. There's just another Marty McFly in the background, and then they edit him into the original movies. They edit the footage, and it's just a big CGI, like the first big deepfake movie thing. That's how you do more Back to the Future. Just another.
It's going to be.
No.
It's going to be much worse. It's going to be a shot-for-shot animated Back to Future remake, but with Rick and Morty. This is the ersatz world we're in, and everyone will agree to it. Dude, it's going to be so awesome. But there's going to be a lot of like background jokes, you know.
Sorry.
Or it's going to be similar to the Family Guy thing where they did Star Wars.
Oh God, I remember having to go to some idiot who will remain nameless that you know at the college that we both went to try to pick up weed in Tivoli, and there was fucking the Family Guy Star Wars playing, and it took him forever to get us weed. It took him like 30 minutes to get us the weed. And we were in a shitty room at like the house on the corner in Tivoli. The drug dealer's name started with a B and ended with Rice. And fucking
might have to bleep that out.
God damn, it was the worst. It's like Family Guy Star Wars. Having to watch
it's
all
very
of it,
obnoxious.
waiting for B Rice to get us the fucking weed, man.
I am not ashamed to admit that I will occasionally watch Family Guy. I think sometimes individual cutaway gags are funny, even though 90% of it is just pointless noise.
Yeah.
But so I will keep it on just in case, just to joylessly sit through terrible things to get to that one cutaway gag that's like, that's a good visual gag. And, honestly, I can respect that sort of workman-like comedy that Family Guy has, where it's just like, just keep cranking out the fucking jokes. I don't fucking know. This is a horse, and it farts. There you go. And Peter says, fuck it, I'm tired. That's Seth MacFarlane. He's just been smoking cigarettes. He's the weight of this empire that he's built around puerile, easy humor. He's just had to crank it out over and over again, day in, day out, and he's just brutalized, and he's confusing all the voices in his head. And you visit him at his mansion and at Sunset Boulevard, and he's ready. I'm ready for my close-up. And then he falls down the stairs and dies.
Wow. Did you see real life Peter Griffin on Twitter?
Yeah, I like real life Peter Griffin. He's fun.
Yeah. I guess I like real life Peter Griffin too. Embrace it, right?
Yeah, I think you get a lot of internet points if you're like weird looking, but you skid into the weird look.
So was the countercultural movement actually orchestrated by the deep state?
Someone thinks so. I think it's Both, right? I think a countercultural movement starts, and then the deep state instantly realizes, hey, these kids are onto something, and then almost immediately after the countercultural movement starts, there's already a wrecker in there.
Well, let's hold up the Beatles as an example, I would say, of representing this, because
were the Beatles
were they co-opted by the CIA? Perhaps,
let's see. John Lennon was anti-Vietnam, but that was after the Beatles.
John Lennon was also mysteriously taking a lot of drugs that the federal government is involved in as well. Like addicted to heroin, taking a lot of acid. Where do you get these things?
I think if you want to do that conspiracy, I think the most plausible way is to, like Adam Curtis it and say what the Beatles represent and what the 60s and boomers represent in general is this sort of navel-gazing individualism where you stop trying to solve the world's problems by, like, doing mutual aid and, like, giving food to people and creating distribution networks for resources. Instead, you just sort of go into this inward world where you prize peace and love as these nebulous concepts without really thinking about it. In the meantime, still keeping your job at, like, a fucking Raytheon or whatever.
Yeah, and
but you listen to the Beatles.
I guess individualism is often cited as, like, the sort of underlying reason why they break up as well. That's general, right? Like, that's generally why they're like, why the Beatles break up? And it's like, well, they all kind of wanted to do solo stuff, or at least got tired of working as a team.
But I think the Beatles in helping to perpetuate, along with everything in the 60s, along with the Grateful Dead and along with the Rolling Stones, that idea that you can achieve self-actualization better by going on these sort of, like, inward psychonaut journeys than by actually, going out there and, giving food to homeless people and sheltering them.
I've noticed the more a tendency towards rejection of the Beatles lately online, which I find interesting. I always am interested in seeing people who are, like, outwardly rejecting the Beatles in general.
I've seen it go back and forth. So I've seen the thing where people are like, I really like John Lennon, and then someone sneers at them because, he bit his wife. And then someone sneers at that guy. It's like, only people who are jerks, sneer at people for liking John Lennon. And then it's just so no one's happy. You just can't enjoy anything.
Well, we now have, like, this whole, like, part of reanalyzing aspects of our culture is, like, looking at their socioeconomic background of the artists. If we figure that we want to make them a target. So if we want to make them a target, we say yes, and then, like, after the fact, you pick their maybe some aspects of their socioeconomic background out as a reason why they make a good target to begin with. So it's really, like,
you mean
a dishonest way of trashing something just sort of for the fun of making people feel bad. So we can do that.
The Beatles were, like, trash poor, so they weren't trash poor, but they were like John Lennon was the trashest poor of them all.
Right. Okay. Well, Paul McCartney, he wasn't that poor.
No, he wasn't that poor, but they weren't like what you would call wealthy. They were probably middle class, and in, like, the post-war British sort of welfare state, that was actually not so bad. So yeah, fuck the Beatles.
I don't know.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I just think they were, most of their songs probably written by the CIA in Langley, Virginia. That's all I'm saying.
Let's deconstruct a Beatles album.
I'm just trying to say that Charles Manson was right, okay? He was right.
Okay, actually, I think you could actually make a very strong case that the Beatles are anti-communist propaganda. Specifically, the song "Revolution."
And back in the USSR, it's all written by the CIA.
If you go carry around pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow.
We're bigger than
John
Jesus.
Lennon,
Is bigger than Jesus.
Pro-landlord. Yeah. John Lennon, he was a landlord. Never had to pay rent. Actually, he probably did have to pay rent. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, okay.
Who cares? Who gives a shit?
The anti-landlord stuff is funny. It doesn't make any sense.
What? Mao's anti-landlord stats?
The pandemic anti-landlord stuff.
I mean, fuck landlords in general. I mean, fuck a certain type of landlord. Like, I don't care about landlords if it's some person trying to make their mortgage payments by renting out their shitty basement. Like, I don't care about those landlords. Those aren't the motherfucker landlords. But, you know, I pay dues to a big property management company, and just like every corporation, fuck them. Because they take more than their fair share, and fuck them.
Yeah. I don't know. They're bad. Most of those are bad.
Do you have landlord? I have
like my landlord's just like some person.
It's harder to hate some person, although
I mean
I've had bad landlords.
She did send the plumber to the house, so that's nice. But we are paying her a lot of money, so
yeah. But does she interfere with your shit? Like, the worst landlord is someone that like drops by all the time, which is the landlord that I had when I lived in Kingston.
Oof, really? Why would he drop?
Yeah.
Why would he? I imagine it's a he. Why would he drop by?
Well, it was a lady.
Oh God! I'm so sorry. Please send my deepest apologies.
She was the lady.
Oh my God!
And she was Russian, and she was an interesting person. It doesn't matter that she's Russian, except for the fact that
perhaps she talked like an idiot.
Her command of the English language, no, it was good. I can't rag on it, but it was a little pigeony, so it made it a little more frustrating to deal with, because I just straight up don't like foreigners. And no, not at all. But the reason why she was able to come in is because her son also lived in the house, and the reason why I was renting it is because I was in school at the time.
So your roommate's mother was the landlord.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
My roommate's mother was the landlord, and this roommate eventually went nuts and wrote logos all over his room. He was a tech bro. Nice. He was a tech bro type, and he wasn't Russian. He didn't have a Russian accent.
Just his mom.
Yeah, he was a landed. He wasn't fresh off the boat. But yeah, I remember discovering his room, and he had snapped all of his laptops in half, and he had trashed his entire room. He had a mental break. I'm not gonna say his name.
That's good. Yeah, you probably shouldn't say his name.
I'm gonna say his name.
No, you probably shouldn't.
It was Sven.
Oh, that's not a Russian name.
It's a very Russian. It's
Sven?
Extremely Russian name.
Sven? Isn't Sven like a Swedish name?
He eventually recovered.
Sven
is a Swedish name. It is a very Swedish name. It is a funny name.
Sven is a Scandinavian name, all right? It's not a Russian name.
It is not a... Russian names are like Vasily.
Yeah, like Vaseline. My friend Vaseline over here.
For Vasily.
It's John Wayne in Russia.
Vaseline Kandinsky. That's modern art. Vaseline is Vaseline Kandinsky. Modern art. It's fucking century old. I do like Kandinsky, though.
Have you ever?
That's when the last plague was.
You ever watched the Decalogue?
Which Decalogue?
The Polish series based on the Ten Commandments, the Decalogue.
No. What is the Decalogue?
It's like a 10-hour-long miniseries of parable, metaphor, short films based on the Ten Commandments. It's supposed, I don't know. Kubrick says it's good. I might check it out. It's 10 hours long. Seems like good stuff for a pandemic.
Oh my God. The Decalogue cinematic universe is the best.
Yeah. You know, I think it's probably a lot of Polish people with angst committing sins.
What's the colors, the 3 color series? Isn't that another Polish one where people feel angst, and it's a long series of films? I don't like good movies. Yeah. I think good movies are boring. I don't want to feel things when I look at film. I just want noise in the background to make me forget that I'm dying.
Okay, so you want to watch The Office bloopers. That's what you need to watch. Because you can fall asleep to the Office bloopers. It's very relaxing.
It's pretty meta because they're making the Jim face, but for real, at their own bloopers. Oh, I'm looking at the camera and I'm splaying my mouth. But the Jim face is real. But the Jim face is what you do when you're walking past your coworkers and you want to acknowledge that they're there, but not like nod their head or verbalize it anyway. So you pull the ridges of your mouth back like a fucking frog and show them that, yes, we are in proximity to each other, and I know that you exist. And they don't do it back to you because you're the only one that's paranoid about shit like this.
Jokerfied, man. That's Jokerfied. Wow.
I like working from home, actually, because I am very paranoid. I was talking about pronoia earlier. That's not what I have, but I have the opposite. Everyone is against me.
It's true. We all are. We all get together. We meet once a month. We check up on what you're doing, make sure we're fucking it up.
Stop. I'm too paranoid.
It's the committee against your name here.
You can say my name. You can say Alex. You can say first names. That's my name. Your name is Steven.
We thought we were going to use pseudonyms like Crash Bandicoot and then I'm Elvis. You're I'm Elvis and you're Crash Bandicoot.
Did Crash Bandicoot have a voice? Can you do a good Elvis impression?
No.
Okay, there you go. Well, Elvis, you can just be a guy named Elvis. You could be Elvis Costello.
No.
Oh, mate, I make really bad songs.
Whoa, you don't like Elvis Costello now? I thought you liked Elvis Costello.
I vacillate Kandinsky between liking Elvis Costello and not liking Elvis Costello. I own My Aim Is True on vinyl because I thought I liked the song Allison, but then I heard it again, and is like, he's a fucking mewling little cloying shit.
Yeah.
Allison,
well,
I know this world is killing you. He's like a real soy boy.
I mean, have you seen the live video, the live concert he did on that German show on YouTube?
No. What is notable about it?
It just is really good. So he's good live. He has some good things about him.
You like Elvis Costello?
I like that live performance on YouTube. Not all of it. Like, all of his album material is so great. But
his wife is Diana Krall, which I think shows where his head's at.
Who is that?
She is a very soft... Nick Kroll's mom? Yeah, it's Nick Kroll's mom. No, it's Krall.
It's just Nick Kroll.
Diana Krall the comic. Hi, I'm Nick Kroll in a wig, and I'm married.
Oh, God.
Is Nick Kroll's dad is like in some horrible corporate scheme, right?
I imagine. I think he comes from money.
Yeah, Nick Kroll definitely comes from money, but I like his comedies. I like that he's friends with John Mulaney. I like his horrible, ugly Jew face, which I can say because I myself am one of them.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it just by listening. You'd have to actually get a look at you to determine that.
Yeah, you'd have to scope out the old visage of Zion.
Yeah, because we're not using last names, so the only way our listeners would know, apart from your obvious vocal qualities, is by getting a good look at you, if you know what I mean.
My obvious vocal qualities. There you go. Here we go. I'm going to do the rest of it like this. This isn't really a Jewish voice. It's more of a Queen's gay, though. I guess Harvey Fierstein.
Did you see that movie about Queen Victoria?
Which?
The one with...
speaking of a Queen's gay.
Yeah, did you see that one? That really intense one?
No, which movie about Queen Victoria?
It came out like last year. Oh, man.
Who does it have? Kate Blanchett? Is it another current Blanchett?
No.
Queen Victoria?
It's that British actress who's now in everything.
Florence Pugh?
Was Florence Pugh on Peep Show?
Is it Florence Pugh? She was in Midsommar? Or is it Anna Taylor-Joy, who has that very round face, and who is in The Vavitch? Because they're two British blonde, brown-faced women who are now in everything.
Was it Queen Victoria? What was the movie? Was it called The Queen?
There was one called The Queen. Wasn't there? The Queen is the show with Olivia Colman, right?
So...
She's getting your royals. We love our royals stuff.
I don't even know. Whatever.
Howard Zinn is spinning around in his shitty grave.
Where is he buried?
I don't fucking know. Let's go to Howard Zinn's grave and I don't leave a book there. Did you read the People's History of the? I never read the People's History of the United States.
I don't have a copy. I just don't have a copy, so it's not my fault. How am I supposed to?
I know about it.
I know about it. I know about it.
Who said I didn't know about it?
I looked at the Wikipedia page. Okay.
I know about its importance in historiography.
I'm looking at it right now. Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, look, you saw some primary documents. Yo, oh man. Okay. Look at this letter from a farmer about the price of wheat. This will tell us a lot about society at this time. Oh man.
So you got robber barons, and then you got captains of industry. Which one you gonna pick? Which one you gonna pick?
I'm gonna pick? Be robber barons, man.
Okay. Howard Zinn. There you go. You heard about Jim Crow laws? But there you go.
Jim Crow laws? Jeez, I don't know about no Jim Crow laws.
I'm from Bay City, Brooklyn. That's one thing I know.
It's what I'm doing. These are the Sweat Hog. The Sweat Hog history guys.
These are the guys the extras from Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah. Oh man, we're learning about all sorts of history of like labor movements and workers in crisis. Yeah. Let's go join the IWW guys. Jeez.
The reason why we're so effed up in this country right now is because of the teachers in the 70s just were total failure. That's why.
See, okay, so it's not JT and Britney breaking up. It was really Welcome Back, Kotter.
Exactly.
That was really the source of it. All of these like pathetic beta teachers
and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin. That's why it's so fucked up right now.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody listening to Led Zeppelin and getting drunk constantly and then be like, that's the society. That's how society is.
Led Zeppelin took the wrong lessons from Lord of the Rings. I don't know how you can read Lord of the Rings and then translate that to fuck 14-year-olds.
I don't think...
Because there's very little sexual...
I don't know. I'm not sure they were so connected at the time.
Baby. If you know the secret lyrics
they
to
had like
the Stairway to Heaven.
One song per album was a little bit Lord of the Rings inspired, just to give them... And that was, I believe, a complete... business decision. It was a business decision.
Sing this song.
Like how it was portrayed in Spinal Tap, where they have.
There's a lady who's sure
Jimmy Page
that she's
has been
underage and she's buying a ticket to my dick.
Jimmy Page has been involved in like 3 unsuccessful bands before he got to Led Zeppelin.
The Yardbirds were not unsuccessful.
Well,
I
sort of.
They sucked.
Sort of were.
The Firm, that was after Led Zeppelin. The Firm, I named it The Firm because that's what I called my penis at the time. It was The Firm. And we did rock music like a big penis. So that's why it was called that. That's my Jimmy Page impression.
That's okay. So it's Michael Caine, but
when I was in Led Zeppelin, Master Wayne, I don't like what you're doing. Ramble on, sing this song. I'm a fucking 14-year-old. Did Michael Caine ever fuck a 14-year-old? They all did.
No,
they all fucked 14-year-olds.
Allegedly.
Proven libelously. They all fucked 14-year-olds.
Allegedly.
We know, not even allegedly, we know for a fact that both David Bowie and Jimmy Page fucked Laurie Maddox, who was 14, at the same time. Not simultaneously, but around the same time, during her summer of love. They interviewed her about it years later, and she said, it was fine. What are you talking about? I was 14. I wanted to fuck him. What you gonna do? I don't know what to do with this information. Are we going to reappraise David Bowie? That's the guy that has escaped the most reappraisal for fucking a 14-year-old is David Bowie.
Well,
people just straight up do not care that he fucked a 14-year-old.
I mean, the way he had sex, it could have been totally innocent. You don't know how he has sex. Maybe he only has sex with his mind.
She came on to him.
No, I'm saying he could be an alien. And so I reserve that David Bowie may have been an alien with no human genitalia, is what I'm saying.
Or genitalia incomprehensible to us.
Yeah, another kind of his don't fit. So okay, just calm down with the anti-David Bowie stuff. Okay.
If there's one guy, who else got away with fucking underage?
Did I just come up with the most original way to get out of Me Too accusations? Is
I'm an alien, bro.
Like I believe in aliens and like. Nah,
that's
dude.
how you can like your problematic faves, is that just rationalize that they're not of this earth and thus not bound to the laws of humanity.
Yep. Yeah, man. Nah, dude. That's how you.
I think that's how a lot of people justify it. Really, that's like how people justify Michael Jackson for sure.
I mean, yeah, they're kind of like he's so talented. He's like on another plane, of existence.
But in a way, he was, because it's like Michael Jackson famous is like we talk about Beatles famous, but Michael Jackson is like even a high tier above Beatles famous. Like literally everyone in the world knows who you are. Like a kid in fucking Papua New Guinea who's never seen the sun knows who fucking Michael Jackson is.
You mean like a mole child?
A mole child in Papua New Guinea.
How do you know about the mole children? Very suspicious.
There's mole people everywhere. Why would you not live underground? It's cool and nice and free from coronavirus.
Yeah, all the houses that are under the ground are free. People don't know that.
Yeah.
But if you just dig a hole and then you find the tunnel system with the mole people, they have a free society down there. It's full communism. It's great. You get a house, you get an awesome job. You get, it's a ton of perks that go with it. It's amazing. You just have to dig a tunnel. You'll find them. Just dig a hole.
Deep enough.
You dig deep enough, you'll find the mole people. And it's sweet. I've been there. They kicked me out because I couldn't stop masturbating. That's the one thing. You can't.
They don't like onanism.
You can't masturbate.
Nah, they don't like. Not even privately. You can't even do it privately. They'll sniff it out. They smell cum.
Yeah, well, they're all blind, so their sense of smell is 10 to 20 times better. And that's actually how the society is run. So the king is, well, he's not first among equals because it's communist society, but there is a first among equals. The word for it is mostly like king. He can smell the best of anyone. That's how
that makes sense. Because it is a it's a merit-based
thing. It's like a genetic thing, and
in the way that in the ideal communist society, the guy that can swing the hammer the best.
Right. Well, so it turns out that the person who with the bloodline, who of the mole people that can smell the best is the Epstein bloodline. So that's why King Epstein was trying to, as was foretold, transcend the mole people and the above ground people.
But his son Jeffrey was banished because he was gifted with sight, which is considered an immortal sin.
Yep. And then the gift of sight corrupted him to have this insatiable lust for massage.
People don't talk about what's directly under Little St. James Island. Which is, of course, the cavern of carnal younglings. Anakin the younglings.
He's like Mole Man. He's Mole Man. Like Batman, but Mole Man.
Anakin did a great job by slaughtering all those fucking younglings, because those kids were all just getting fucked, and they would have all become, fucking meth addicted. They would have all become addicted to death sticks.
Death sticks? What? The Star Wars universe has death sticks?
Oh man, you don't remember that aspect of the Attack of the Clones where
No.
they're chasing the lady alien assassin through the endless maw of Coruscant, and they're in a club. They're in the Star Wars equivalent to a rave club, and a guy offers Obi-Wan death sticks, and then he uses his Jedi mind trick to get the guy to reevaluate his life, which is weird. It's a weird little Puritan thing that Obi-Wan does. Obi-Wan is anti-drug because the Jedi suck.
What?
Yeah, did you
remember.
see Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, a long time ago I saw it.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
I just
Actually, I mean, it's not a good movie, but it's weird as hell because it is Lucas. Lucas is an auteur of crap, but it's still this weird combination of obsessions and ideas that don't fit together at all. A movie that I've always wanted to see, and I may do in this coronavirus heat, is the movie Strange Magic. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm maintaining that movies can only be art if they are produced by a nation state.
So, okay. Like, is North Korea?
All right, yeah. North Korean movies are art. Movies from Nazi Germany are art, and movies from 1930s America.
Eisenstein movies.
Yeah. Movies with the full force and power of the state behind them. Those
then
have
every Canadian movie has government backing because we can't do shit for ourselves. So.
Sliding in with the loophole as usual. Canada.
Yeah. The loophole. That would be a good name for a gay bar.
So
like a gay lawyers club.
So right now, there are many Canadian cow farmers weeping as they must just dump their milk. They're just weeping and opening the gaskets on their milk storage containers, letting it spill out down the drains, mixing with their tears, just dumping their milk.
On the indigenous reserve, like 20 miles away, a guy's like, "Man, you hear that?" You just hear this faint rumbling coming in the distance, and then oh shit, this river of milk comes down, and they're going.
Yeah. They're drowning indigenous communities in the milk they're dumping right now because all the fucking restaurants all across the country are closed and can't buy the cheese. You know, the processed cheese that goes on the burgers. The burgers that all the fat people eat when they're driving to go to their jobs.
Don't just processed cheese. It's great. It melts so good. Melts so good on my titties. I take some processed cheese and a blow dryer and put them on my titties, and I'll make a bikini top. You never done that before?
I haven't. I've never had a dog. So I bet that's why you're doing that, because then I bet Diego just licks that cheese off your titties.
I'm gonna do a cheese dating service called Craft Singles. Boom, boom. You got it.
All right,
you
well,
got
folks,
it in your system.
I think that's it for the show.
That's it. That's what we're gonna do. That's all you got in your wormhole. That's what you need.